Act as if everything always works out. Because the truth is, it does, but only for those who believe before they see. It's easy to act confident when the world hands you guarantees. But real power? Real power is built in the silence, in the shadows, in the days when you have every reason to give up, but you don't. The world has always belonged to the unreasonable, to the men and women who defied logic and statistics, who bent reality to the strength of their will. You think Edison waited for the odds to be in his favor before inventing the light bulb? No, he failed 10,000 times, and yet he still believed. He acted as if the breakthrough already belonged to him. That is the mindset that moves mountains. That is the mindset that writes history. Andrew Carnegie walked into the steel industry with no money, no education, and no status. Only a burning belief that he would dominate, and dominate he did. Because when your vision is clear and your intention is fierce, the world cannot ignore you forever. Act as if everything always works out, not because of blind optimism, but because your mind becomes the blueprint of your results. Clarity is a weapon. The average man is confused, distracted, always waiting for signs, for proof, for permission. But the high performer, the warrior, he builds in the dark. He sees with inner vision. He acts on faith, and then creates the facts. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Henry Ford was laughed out of meetings. Napoleon Hill was mocked for believing thoughts become things. And yet here you are, living in a world lit by Edison's bulb, driving Ford's machine, dreaming through Disney's imagination, and repeating the words of Napoleon Hill. You don't need the world to believe in you. You don't need your parents, your friends, your followers to validate your vision. You need one thing: a decision. A decision to act as if, not someday, not when it feels good, now, because the clock is ticking. And time bows to no man. If your mind is cluttered, clear it. If your purpose is buried, dig it out. If your confidence is shattered, rebuild it. One brick of belief at a time. You were not born to wander aimlessly. You were born to move with precision, to build with intention, to lead with courage. Every hero you admire began with nothing more than a decision to think differently, to act boldly, to believe wildly. Burn this into your soul. The world reflects not what you want, but what you expect. So expect victory, expect growth, expect miracles, and act accordingly. Because mountains move for the man who walks as if he commands the earth. And when the storms come, and they will, do not flinch. Stand taller. When the world doubts you, and it will, smile quietly. For your outcome is not tied to their approval. When progress feels slow, remember, bamboo spends years growing its roots underground before it ever breaks the surface. Then it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. You are that bamboo, quietly becoming unstoppable. The question is not if your breakthrough will happen. The question is, will you stay the course long enough to meet it? Discipline is divine, not just the ability to act, but to act repeatedly, long after the excitement fades. You must train your mind like an athlete trains the body. Sharpen it daily. Direct it forcefully. Guard it ruthlessly. You cannot afford distraction. You cannot afford small thinking. You cannot afford the luxury of doubt. This world is run by those who dare to believe in things unseen, who visualize victory long before it arrives, who command their habits like generals and march their emotions like soldiers. Act as if everything always works out. And you will notice everything begins to, opportunities bend to your belief. People feel your certainty. Doors swing open not because of luck, but because your presence demands it. Faith is not passive. It is power in motion. When you walk into a room, carry the energy of someone who has already won. Not arrogance, certainty, not delusion, intention. When you speak, let every word be laced with conviction. When you plan, do it with precision. When you rise, rise like it's your birthright, because it is. The world belongs to those who act with authority, not the borrowed kind, but the kind forged through fire, through silence, through relentless inner work. Be that kind. Act as if the universe is conspiring in your favor, and suddenly it does. Your mind is a magnet. It pulls what it focuses on. If you fixate on fear, you attract more of it. But when you dwell in possibility, you attract miracles. Decide now to walk like the battle is already won, to think like the deal is already closed, to believe like the dream is already real. Because in many ways it is. Your future self is waiting, watching, whispering back in time. Don't stop. Keep going. You're almost me. So become him. Become her. And when the world says, "Who do you think you are?" respond with your results. Act as if. Because what you believe today is the life you'll live tomorrow.